G'day folks, welcome to a wet rainy Wednesday night update and bit of a ramble. As you can well tell, most of this is going to be about YouTube stuff. People are still nutting out how to use it, what's gone wrong. I'm getting a lot of messages from people who are basically bailing or just not going to comment again because they just can't. Well, what used to be an easy, fun thing to do has just become rather difficult, so they just don't want anything to do with it, which is fair enough. There's a lot of different subjects to touch on. I've tried 3 times to make this video over the past 4 days, and I've deleted every single one of them. And, I'm not going to go too far. Like I've had one file that was half an hour long. And it's like, nah, I still didn't even touch on half the decent stuff. But all I'm going to say is Google needs to patch it and optimize it. I don't mind if they want to keep the interaction with Google Plus, if that's really going to cut down on trolls and hateful users, which is what they claimed it was all about. I mean, if that's going to cut down on or make it easier to regulate and stop just spammers and hateful users, fine. But I'm already getting trolled with things like the click to expand comment thing, where somebody actually makes it up and posts it as a hyperlink to another video or something. That's got me 3 times so far today, and I've just basically stopped doing it. So if you post a comment which is oversized, don't expect me to read it all or click that link unless I absolutely know you. Same with the big comments, they're just ridiculous now. That has to be patched out, or at least made. We just need basically a toggle switch on the user control panel that I can select. Do not allow oversized comments or comments above X amount of characters, like 500 characters. Do not allow hyperlinks, that sort of thing. Like basically a switch to classic comment section type button that all users can use, not just big content creators and partners like me. Everyone needs to be able to make it optional. Same with unlinking from Google Plus. If people just want to post comments, fine. I mean, yeah, there's too much overhead, and a lot of people I know, a lot of people I've often watched a lot of their videos are either stopping creating content or they're just deleting it. That's not good. That's not good for business for Google either, because it doesn't matter how big a channel is, we're still their bread and butter when it comes to income. So yeah, and particularly seeing big channels on the downfall, or going to Reddit as a comment posting section. I think one of the Yogscast members popped up in my inbox, or someone sent me a link to it. I can't remember if it was Sips or Martin. I think it might have been Martin from the Yogscast posted a video, and he's using Reddit for his comments. But I don't need another forum to moderate and check up on. I spend enough time on IRCs and comment inboxes and things like that. I've got an inbox full of stuff that I haven't even replied to yet. It just eats time. It's a time hog, and they've basically just made this harder, more time consuming and more frustrating for everyone. And I'm going to keep producing content. If I stop making content, it's just going to make my life worse. Well, as far as keeping the hobby shop going, because remember, this is still a business level thing. Like, I've got to make money to pay bills and buy consumables and things like that. And I get that through YouTube. So obviously stopping making videos would be a bad thing, even though some money would come in. My viewer base would dwindle and disappear, and people wouldn't be happy. I've got a lot of loyal subscribers who really love what I do. They like me as a person, and they want to see more stuff, which is really good. I'm surprised people even bother, because I produce some pretty crappy quality videos, and I'm actually quite happy about that. As far as upgrading computers, like I was going to put all new internals in this computer and get a proper full HD handycam. That's not going to happen yet. That's on permanent hiatus. I was going to buy an 8-core AMD system to put in there as an editing powerhouse. And yeah, not yet. Not until we see how this pans out, because if everything just takes a dive and there's really no demand for videos anymore, I'm not going to bother. We'll see how the next few months, at least into early next year, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, that's on hiatus. What else? Yeah, don't click hyperlinks that people post in videos. Just don't do it. You don't know where it's going to take you. It's only a matter of time before the spam bots work out a workaround to post links to malware or rubbish garbage websites and things. I haven't seen an option to turn off hyperlinks altogether. I could probably put banned websites in a list, but that's going to take me a long time to work out. And a lot of the ones that have redirected me to YouTube. So I'm not going to ban YouTube on my comments. It doesn't really work that way, I don't think. Yeah, if someone's done a bit of research on this, or there's a list of known sites to block, let me know. I might have a look at it, but they're basically foisting the whole spam control onto the creator instead of the host. So now it's my responsibility to filter out bad sites and things like that, which is just something I don't have time for. I'm sorry, I just don't have time for it. Yeah, so anyway, I'm going to keep producing content. I haven't really bothered filming stuff lately because A, I've been busy, and B, this whole thing's just basically run me down. But I have got some stuff on the go. I'm also working out some equipment sale deals with people and things like that. This has to go. That's all spare parts for the Vattenfeld. Someone's going to want that. And other things will be going up for sale. I bought an engine crane, so it's easier to move stuff around under the carport, particularly heavy things like the Yanmar. I can get that out and undercover storage, and just make some more room. This has to go. I'm probably going to get a mini mill soon, so there's going to be a miniature milling machine here that I can use to do things like drill the combustor liner for the jet engine and all that good stuff. I'm still buying consumables and things, spending a fair bit of money, so I've got to be careful of that. I picked this little goodie up at the scrap metal yard the other day. Should be fairly straightforward to restore. Everything's there and straight and reasonably clean. It hasn't been left out in the weather as such. It's an old radio receiver from the 1940s. Pretty good. They're quite sought after. Well, I saw there was an auction. It wasn't an auction, but it was a previous auction listed on one of the vintage websites, and it sold for about $300 in mint condition with all the casing and covers and everything. Like, the thing looked like new. So they're not extremely valuable, but they're still sought after by ham enthusiasts, ham radio. But yeah, that's sort of how that's going. That'll be a rainy day project like today. Just sit down and clean the tubes up and make sure everything's clear, work out what capacitors I have to order, because they're here, there and everywhere. There's little mica ones which always go bad. It's a fair job. I've also got that little AWA push-pull amplifier to fix. That rectifier might actually work in it. It's not very tight in the socket. It's an RCA 7426. I'll see if that rectifier is the right kind for that push-pull, because I might do the push-pull first as my first vacuum tube restoration, and then move on to this one, because this is pretty advanced. And as numerous people have told me, and I have heard previously, there are very high voltages in these things, dangerous voltages and currents. So it's not like working on your transistor radio where the danger stops at the power supply. This whole underside of this thing is dangerous, high voltage. So yeah, it's interesting stuff. Yeah, breaking into vacuum tube stuff's really fun. So anyway, I've got some goodies on the way. A few users have opted to donate stuff to me. Mostly audio equipment. I'm getting some cool audio equipment to play with. And yeah, it's not a lot else really apart from run-of-the-mill day-to-day stuff and just sorting out YouTube. I hope everyone's hanging in there and trying to sort out their Google Plus, because yeah, it'd be an awful shame to lose a number of quite a lot of subscribers over just something as silly as this, because well, I value a lot of people being around, and I've already had messages and seen videos from people that are quite frankly heartbreaking, because I've known a lot of the people for quite some time, and to hear they're not going to hang around, or they might even delete their channel, is just over this shit is just not good. Like, Google's driving people to do that kind of thing. That's not good for anyone's business. That's not good for anyone's social circles. It's not good for anyone. And I hope they reverse most, if not all, of this policy. I'd rather put up with the trolls that we had before than put up with this shit, to be honest. I mean, as much as I like to see a better control over who posts what, where and when, to be honest, I liked it the way it was. I'd rather just get used to banning trolls and blocking people for being hateful to each other. That's normal. I quite enjoy it sometimes. Especially when you get them wound up and you can just tell that they're fuming at the keyboard. And that ain't going to go away either. This Google Plus thing isn't going to get rid of the haters. No way. No bloody way. So, nah. I preferred it the way it was. The cross-linking's cool, but make it optional. Keep it optional. I don't mind using Google Plus. It is handy for posting photos and things like that. And Hangouts, that sort of thing. I started it for Hangouts, and that's about the limit of it. I don't see the need for everyone to have to integrate into it in order to use or comment on YouTube videos and subscribe to people and upload. Yeah, there's so many ways that this can be cleaned up at the very least, or even just reversed. I know someone's going to get their ass kicked at Google for it. There's already a big petition on change.org that's getting passed around. If I can find the link, I'll put that in the description. I advise that people sign it and pass it on to anyone that they know. Just get it out there. I think it's already got 47,000 signatures on it so far, and it's only been since Thursday-ish. I think it was Thursday. Yeah, pretty darn good. So, I don't know. Don't know if Google will even acknowledge it. They probably won't. But it does sort of remind me of Microsoft and backing down on the Xbox One, always on DRM and other anti-consumer crap. They realised that Sony was going to eat them when it came to selling consoles. If they kept that crap up with the Xbox One, Sony was going to demolish their sales. So they backed down on it, they listened to the consumers, and they changed things. Maybe YouTube will do the same thing, maybe they won't. I don't know. But either way, something has to give. I've had tons of people ask me what this is. This is a universal drill grinder and cutter grinder. It's really handy. It's only a Chinese thing. It's a clone of a decal grinder, but it works really well. I don't think it's plugged in. No. It's always sounded noisy. I don't know if the bearings in it are bad or not. It's always just had loud bearings ever since I got it, and I got it practically new on the pallet. It was still bolted to its original shipping pallet, and it's always sounded raspy, so who knows. Anyway, everything's going well. Welder goes well, all that stuff goes well. I just got to clean up, get that milling machine in there, get my engine crane assembled first so I can move some heavy engine blocks and things out to dry storage and sell some stuff. Oh well, that's enough for now. Going on about 13 minutes of rambly goodness. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more. I'm going to start producing content. Not producing content is bad for everyone, so yeah, let's see how this goes. I'm just not going to go out of my way to make flashy hot videos if they're just going to make things worse and drive half my audience away. Let's just say that much. If things get better over the next few months, like viewer retention gets better, a lot of all my long-time subscribers hang around, sure, I might invest in some new hardware. But until then, until things really start to pick up, I don't see the point. So, yeah, thanks for watching.